Christian Dvorak is an upgrade from Ryan Poehling, right? I mean, he is. So that's better.
And at the very least, he's an upgrade over whoever would have filled the 4C role.
Yes, and if you want to look at it even a different way, do you want to look at it and say Zegras is better than Poehling and Dvorak is better than whoever AHL guy would come up and play fourth line center? So you've automatically made your centers better. You still don't have an elite center, but your 4 guys down the middle are at least passable now, right?
Yeah.
And then, when you add Juleson, I mean, he's really just a third pair guy. But the interesting thing
probably
is
number 7.
I mean,
it feels like,
well, he's going to have to play. He's going to have to play at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they had Juleson and Gilbert, and it feels like they're going to battle for that number 7 spot once Risto's back. But the feeling, the operating belief right now is kind of that Risto, good chance he's going to miss the start of the season, or it's going to be very tight.
No, I think he's going to miss some of the beginning of the season. I don't think he'll be out as long as Forster, which we'll get to later, but I think that he's still going to miss some time at the beginning of the season. And if that's the case, then you're going to need somebody else to kind of fill in back there. And the reason I say I think Juleson might end up on the third pair, Russ, is keep in mind that both him and Dvorak were guys who've played for Rick Tocchet before. Mm-hmm. So there's familiarity there. And if you're Rick Tocchet and you're putting your groups together, do you look at it and say, all things being equal, would I trust the guy that I've coached before over a guy that I've never coached before?
Yep.
And I say yes. And so, I think that he maybe gets a leg up on whoever wins that 6th D battle. I think Juleson's got a shot, more so than anybody else. So I mean, all around in those areas, I mean, they're not huge improvements, but they're certainly marginal improvements. And so, therefore, I think the Flyers are a better team today than they were in April with the additions that they've made. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but
I'm a noted homer, right? Like, I never say anything remotely critical of this team, organization, or their decision making. As we all know, I have been nothing but a flag waver and a water carrier for this organization for the last 7 years we've done this show. Yeah, not even remotely close. These signings are fine. They're exactly what I think most people who are logical and who have been listening to us or have been listening to anybody else who kind of follows the same line of thinking as us have been saying for months. Rob Greeley over on YouTube asks this question: Christian Dvorak 5.4 for $1 million, is it pricey? The answer is yes, but there's also that report floating around today that he might have been looking for $2.5 to $3.5 million on a 2-year deal. He took more money up front to do this one season with the Flyers. Remember, when the initial tweet came out, it was Kevin Weeks. He said $4.5 million. Everybody went, ah! And then he said, oh, sorry, it was actually backwards. It's 5.4. And they went, ah! And you go, all right, if he's your 4C, right? Because you would hope that like Cates is going to be your 3C, right? Zegras is probably going to be your 1 or 2. Couturier is going to be your 1 or 2. If Couturier doesn't bounce back as well, maybe he's your 3C, whatever. But those are your top 3. Now, could Dvorak potentially be a 3C from time to time? Sure. Could Dvorak play out on the left wing if Lushenko rocks your socks again? Like if Lushenko shows up at camp, just looks like he belongs, and they give him a look. Maybe. But if nothing else, Dvorak gives you a little bit of flexibility there. And he also probably does reduce some of that pressure, like fan pressure, if you hadn't addressed center, would then be, well, Lushenko has to make the team or he's a total flop, a waste of a pick, and we need to send him into the sun. Because you know that there would have been a big portion of this fan base that would have felt like that. To me, like, Dvorak gives you a solid guy up the middle, positional flexibility, and happens to remove just a little bit of pressure off of last year's first-round pick.
Yeah, no, and not only that, Russ,
and it's a 1-year deal. It's a 1-year deal.
That's
the
most important thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 1-year deal. It gives the Flyers option. It's a lot of options. We say, what are those options? Well, let's play out a couple of different scenarios or 3 different scenarios. First scenario is Flyers are surprisingly good. Like, they're a playoff team. Christian Dvorak's producing. He's helping this team win. And you look at it and go, great, good on him for betting on himself. Maybe they re-sign him and bring him back, and he's part of what you're doing going forward. Awesome.
Yep.
let's say Christian Dvorak's playing great, but the team is not a playoff team. Well, then what do? You flip him at the deadline for another asset, right?
Bingo.
There you go. And the third option is Christian Dvorak disappoints. He's terrible. The team's no good. Well, you get off the contract after 1 year.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the team's good and he still stinks. Either way, you're off the contract in a year.
Yeah, right. I mean, and so that's the thing. And so like if it was a multi-year deal, then I think we can complain. You would complain about it, and I would complain about it as well. But the fact that it's a 1 year deal, it really doesn't matter.